Yellowstone National Park is an American national park located in Wyoming, with small portions extending into Montana and Idaho. Established on March 1, 1872, it's the first national park in the world. Our tour today will take place in this remarkable park, where we will witness its stunning beauty and unique attractions. We'll also learn many fascinating facts about this natural wonder. Yellowstone is renowned for its geothermal features, which include geysers, hot springs, and mud pots. These features create an awe-inspiring spectacle. The water in the geysers and hot springs is so hot it can cause burns. The mud spots boil while geysers erupt with columns of hot water. Steam and white smoke rise from volcanic cracks in the ground, adding to the otherworldly atmosphere. The park is also home to an abundance of wildlife, including bison, elk, bears, and wolves. Yellowstone National Park is located in the Yellowstone caldera, a large volcanic system. The caldera was formed as a result of a supervolcanic eruption 640,000 years ago. The eruption was so powerful it threw ash into the atmosphere, leading to climate change around the world. Today, Yellowstone remains an active volcanic system. The park contains over 10,000 geothermal features, including geysers, hot springs, mud pots, and fumaroles. A walk or tour through Yellowstone National Park will be an unforgettable experience. Each step fills you with a sense of awe and wonder at the majesty of nature. The air is filled with the smell of sulfur and the sounds of bubbling geysers and gurgling springs emanating from the ground. Your gaze glides over colorful thermal pools, emerald valleys, and majestic mountain peaks. A walk through Yellowstone National Park is not just a walk, it's a journey to another world, where the harmony of nature reigns and where man can feel a part of something larger than himself. Yellowstone National Park is a place you must visit at least once in your life, and it's a place that will stay in your memory forever. Yellowstone National Park is a popular tourist destination. More than 4 million people visit every year. Park visitors can enjoy hiking, camping, fishing, boating, and sightseeing. The park also has several museums and visitor centers. Be especially careful around hot springs. Do not walk on thermal formations. They can be fragile and scalding hot. Don't touch or drink water from geysers and hot springs. It can be toxic. And be careful with steam from geysers and hot springs. It can be scalding. As you enter Yellowstone with its steam and gushing fountains, it can make a very strange and mysterious impression. Visitor centers will help you get your bearings in the park. At local visitor centers, you can get information about the park, maps, and safety rules. If you're planning a hike in remote areas of the park, please register at the visitor center. Wear comfortable shoes. You'll have to walk a lot, so it's very important to have proper footwear. It's advisable to take along a first aid kit with you. It should contain bandages, antiseptics, and pain relievers. Be sure to let your friends know where you plan to go that day and when you plan to return. By following these simple safety rules, you'll be able to spend your time in Yellowstone National Park carefree and pleasantly. And now we begin our journey through the local sites. And besides, in this film, we'll try to give you a lot of useful tips on how to plan and organize your trip to Yellowstone Park in order to get as many pleasant and vivid impressions from such an excursion as possible. We're now looking at Old Faithful Geyser, one of the most famous geysers in the world, located in Yellowstone National Park in the U.S. It got its name because of its predictability, as it erupts every 90 to 150 minutes. The height of the eruption of the famous geyser is 40 to 55 meters, or 130 to 180 feet, and the duration is anywhere from 1.5 minutes to 5 minutes. The fountain erupts a huge volume of water, 14,000 to 32,000 liters, or 3,700 to 8,500 gallons. This volume is equal to the weight of 30 adult elephants, or a small pool. This amazing fountain was first described in 1870. Old Faithful Geyser has been erupting for over 10,000 years. It seems like an eternity since its first eruption. In 1916, a whole hotel was built next to the fountain so tourists could watch the geyser from its balcony. Old Faithful Geyser is one of the most popular attractions in Yellowstone National Park. To admire the famous geyser, you can visit the Old Faithful Inn observation deck. This is the closest point to the geyser. You can also watch the geyser in real time via a webcam. Another way to learn about the geyser is to join an excursion, where guides can tell you more about the history and geology of this natural wonder. Old Faithful Geyser is a real wonder of nature. Its eruptions are a breathtaking sight that is definitely worth seeing. Welcome to the Upper Geyser Basin, an extraordinary place with the highest concentration of geysers on Earth. Located in the heart of Yellowstone National Park, it encompasses about 2 square miles and features over 150 geothermal features, including geysers, hot springs, mud pots, and fumaroles. Cracks or holes that emit hot volcanic gas as steam or quiet billowing clouds. The most famous attraction is Old Faithful, but other impressive geysers like Castle, Daisy, and Grand also reside here. Vivid hot springs such as Morning Glory Pool astound with their incredible colors and patterns. Bubbling mud pots showcase the power of geothermal activity, while steam rising from fumaroles creates an otherworldly atmosphere. To get a sense of the Upper Geyser Basin, stroll along the numerous boardwalks that provide safe access to all the sites. Witness an eruption of Old Faithful. Visit the observation platform to see the iconic geyser in action. Dive deeper and explore distinct areas like Geyser Hill, Black Sand Pool, and Biscuit Basin. Learn about the park's geothermal activity. Visit the information center or join a guided tour to gain insights into how these incredible natural features are formed. Nature's beauty will provide a feast for the senses. Take photos, admire the scenery, listen to bird song, and soak up the unique atmosphere of this natural wonder. For a safe and enjoyable experience in this area of the park, stay on the boardwalks. Never step off the designated paths to protect yourself and the fragile ecosystem. Do not touch geothermal features. Water in hot springs and geysers can be scalding, and steam can be toxic. Keep a safe distance from wildlife. Stay a seriously safe distance from bison, bears, and other wild animals. The Upper Geyser Basin is an unforgettable place that astounds with its variety of geothermal wonders. By visiting, you'll witness the incredible forces of nature firsthand and gain a unique experience. We're now at Fountain Paint Pots, a geothermal area located in the Upper Geyser Basin of Yellowstone National Park. It's known for its colorful mud pots, hot springs, and fumaroles. One of the most striking features of this area is its diversity of colors. The name Fountain Paint Pots comes from the multicolored mud pots. The variety of colors is due to the presence of different minerals. The yellow is caused by iron oxide. Orange is given to the earth by antimony sulfide. The red coloring is provided by mercury oxide. Iron and magnesium cause the green, and blue is given to the earth by copper sulfate. This area is also known for its mud pots, bubbling and boiling. These pots are filled with clay and minerals. As you find yourself in this amazing valley of colorful pots, you won't be able to pass by the hot springs. Diverse in shape and size, they fascinate with their iridescent colors. Finally, you'll see the mysterious fumaroles there. Emitting steam and gases, they add drama to the landscape. As you walk through the valley, don't forget to take pictures of it. The vibrant colors and fascinating geothermal features will help you create unforgettable photos. Visit the Information Center to learn more about how these incredible natural effects of geothermal activity are formed. Observe the birds and their melodious chirping. Fountain Paint Pots is a great place to watch a variety of birds. Fountain Paint Pots is a beautiful and fascinating place that is definitely worth visiting in Yellowstone. On your journey through Yellowstone Park, you'll have the unique chance to admire peaceful herds of bison grazing on the meadows. These magnificent and powerful animals inhabit Yellowstone. Watch them and feel the atmosphere of peace and serenity emanating from them. Bison, also known as American buffalo, are symbols of Yellowstone National Park and all of North America. These massive horned bulls once roamed the Great Plains in huge numbers, but were nearly wiped out by hunting in the 19th century. Yellowstone National Park became a haven for bison. Buffalo play an important role in the Yellowstone ecosystem. They graze on meadows, creating conditions for other plants to grow. The trampling of meadows helps to form wetlands, which are home to many species of birds. Bison are wild animals, and it's important to be careful when observing them. Keep your distance when observing these huge bulls. Do not approach them closely. Don't feed them. This can make them aggressive. And be very careful. Bison can be unpredictable, especially if they feel threatened. Did you know that the Yellowstone bison herd is the oldest in the U.S.? The national park is home to around 5,000 bison, many of which stay together. Bison migrate long distances in search of food and water, so they can be seen in the most unexpected places. In Yellowstone National Park, these prairie bulls are protected by law, so they cannot be hunted or killed. Did you know that bison can run at speeds of up to 50 kilometers an hour, which is the speed of a car? An adult male can weigh up to 1 ton. Bison are herbivores that survived the Ice Age. They help other animals. And buffalo have a positive impact on the landscape. The best time to observe bison is in the spring and fall in the meadows and valleys using binoculars or a telescope. American buffalo or bison are majestic animals that are an integral part of the park. Observing buffalo in Yellowstone National Park is an unforgettable experience. These powerful animals are the embodiment of wildlife and remind us of the importance of its conservation. In addition to bison, the main inhabitants of Yellowstone Reserve are various wild animals. The park is home to over 60 species of mammals, including bison, elk, grizzly bears, black bears, wolves, lynx, and wolverines. Yellowstone is also home to over 300 species of birds, including eagles, peregrine falcons, and pelicans. Encountering wildlife is always a thrilling experience. Whether it's majestic bison, a graceful elk, or an amusing marmot, each animal captivates us with its beauty and naturalness. However, encounters with wildlife on the road can be dangerous, so it's important to take precautions. Always maintain a safe distance from wild animals. Never get closer than 25 yards or 82 feet. This rule applies to all animals, including bison, elk, bears, and wolves. It's also important not to feed wild animals. Feeding can make them aggressive and dependent on humans. Be sure to pack out what you pack in, and don't leave any trash behind, as it can attract wildlife. And of course, be cautious on the roads. as animals can dart out in front of you while driving at any time. Let's take a closer look at the wildlife of Yellowstone. Just what kind of creatures inhabit this Yellowstone wonderland? First and foremost, you'll see large mammals such as elk. Yellowstone is home to around 30,000 elk. Wolves were reintroduced to Yellowstone in 1995. Their population is now increasing. Bears. They have two species of bears inside the park, grizzly bears and black bears. Mountain lions. Cougars are relatively rare in Yellowstone, but they can still be seen in some areas. And wolverines, the least common mammal in Yellowstone. Other mammals in the park include beavers. These industrious creatures build dams on Yellowstone's rivers and streams. River otters, playful animals that love to swim and dive. Foxes, predators that hunt the smaller animals. Ground squirrels, small rodents that live in burrows. The park is also home to a wide variety of birds, including bald eagles, the national symbol of the United States. Bald eagles can frequently be seen soaring over Yellowstone. Trumpeter swans, majestic birds that inhabit the park's lakes and ponds. Pelicans, large water birds that fish in Yellowstone Lake. Woodpeckers, forest birds that peck at trees in search of food. Yellowstone is also home to a variety of reptiles and amphibians, including bullfrogs. These are the largest frogs in the park. Tiger salamanders, brightly colored amphibians that live in Yellowstone. Wood frogs, small frogs that live in the park's forests. The park's lakes and rivers are home to cutthroat trout, a beautiful fish that lives in the park's rivers and streams. Brook trout, a popular target for fishing in the park. And sockeye salmon, a fish that migrates from the ocean to spawn here in the park's rivers. So as you can see, there's plenty to see for fishing enthusiasts and those who simply want to enjoy beautiful fish in Yellowstone. For those who enjoy watching animals, it's best to use binoculars or a telescope. This will help you get a closer look. It's important to be quiet so as not to scare the animals away. Most importantly, stay on the trail to avoid disturbing the animals and damaging the fragile ecosystem. Animal watching is a fascinating activity that can make your visit to Yellowstone National Park even more exciting. Yellowstone Park is a unique place where you can see not only a variety of animals, but also interesting exotic plants. Yellowstone is home to over 1,700 species of plants, including 8 species of conifers. There are 3 main types of vegetation in the park: subalpine meadows, montane forests, and coniferous forests. Yellowstone's meadow are home to a wide variety of flowers, grasses, and sedges. This is the most common type of vegetation in the park. Montane forests can be found at higher elevations. They're home to a variety of coniferous and deciduous trees such as pine, Engelmann spruce, and Douglas fir. Coniferous forests are found in the drier areas of Yellowstone. They're home to a variety of pine trees such as ponderosa pine and lodgepole pine. The park is also interesting for its unusual geothermal features, such as hot springs, geysers, and mud pots, which support the growth of specific plants. The influence of geothermal features on the park's vegetation is that they create unique microclimates that allow special plants to appear, characteristic only of this area. Some plants have adapted to the high temperatures and acidity of geothermal features. Many other plants cannot survive in these conditions and are not found near hot springs and other formations with thermal effects. Yellowstone National Park is a unique place where you can see a wide variety of plants and trees. The National Park Service works to conserve Yellowstone's plants. Visitors can help protect the park by staying on trails and not picking wildflowers. The plants and trees of Yellowstone National Park are an important part of its ecosystem. If you want to learn more about the park's vegetation, you can browse the Wildflower Guide. This will help you identify different plant species. You can learn a lot by visiting the Visitor Center. There's information about all the plants you'll find in Yellowstone. Be sure to walk the nature trails. This is a great way to see the park's unusual variety of plants. Yellowstone is a land not only of forests, but also of blue and clear lakes and rivers. Yellowstone National Park has many rivers and lakes that play an important role in shaping its ecosystem. Here are just a few. Yellowstone River, the longest river in the park, flowing through its center and into the lake. The Snake River, the second longest river, flowing through the western part of the park and into the Columbia River. Lamar River, it flows through the northern part of the park and into the Yellowstone River. And Gardner River, that flows through the northern part of the park as well and into the Yellowstone River. The park's blue lakes are also beautiful. Among them, Yellowstone Lake, the largest lake in the park located in its center and the source of the Yellowstone River. Lewis Lake, the second largest lake located in the southeast corner of the park. Shoshone Lake, the third largest lake located in the eastern part of Yellowstone. And Heart Lake, located in the northeast part of the park. These bodies of water are home to a variety of aquatic animals, including fish, otters, and beavers. They're also popular for swimming, fishing, and boating. And of course, what kind of vacation is complete without swimming? Yellowstone National Park has several places where you can take a dip in warm weather. Yellowstone Lake. There are several swimming spots there, including West Thumb, the most popular swimming area on Yellowstone Lake. Bridge Bay, another popular swimming hole on Yellowstone Lake. It has all the amenities. And Lahardy Rapids. This spot is popular for swimming and bodyboarding. Lewis Lake has several swimming spots, including Lewis Lake Campground, the most popular swimming spot on the lake. The Issa Lake Campground, another popular swimming spot on Lewis Lake, with sandy beaches, a changing room, and toilets. These water recreation areas are equipped with all the amenities. Gardner River. Tourists love to swim, float, and fish in it. To enjoy your experience from swimming and bathing, follow these simple rules. Swim only in specially designated areas. in company, not alone, and make sure the water is warm. In addition to these lakes and rivers, there are several other places to swim in Yellowstone National Park. However, it's important to remember that not all bodies of water in the park are safe for swimming. It's best to ask about a body of water at the park's information center before swimming. Most importantly, make it your goal to have a great time and relax. Remember, no matter when you come to Yellowstone, it will always be full of tourists and life will be in full swing. On one hand, it's a place where you can go enjoy peace and quiet, yet on the other hand, you can see a lot of other people and meet like-minded folks like you. Yellowstone Park is a place where not only impressive natural phenomena take place, but also some humorous incidents. In 2018, a tourist from China fell into a hot spring while trying to take a selfie. Fortunately, she did not suffer any serious injuries. In 2017, a family of bears climbed into a tourist's car while they were out walking. The bears ate all the food and left their marks on the seats. Can you imagine their reaction? In 2016, not making this up, a man was fined for farting in a geyser. The park issued a statement saying that such behavior is disrespectful and unsafe. In 2015, a woman was attacked by a bison when she tried to take a selfie with it. Fortunately, there were no injuries or worse. So, photos are photos, but don't risk your life trying to take that ultimate selfie. Our tour continues in the Midway Geyser Basin. Midway Geyser Basin is a real wonder of the Yellowstone. It's the second largest geyser basin in the park after the Upper Geyser Basin. Midway is known for its numerous geysers, hot springs, mud pots, and fumaroles. Here you can see geysers such as Grand Prismatic Spring. This is the largest fountain in the U.S. and the third largest in the world. It's known for its bright rainbow colors, which are caused by the presence of different bacteria. Excelsior Geyser. This is the tallest fountain in Yellowstone, erupting a column of water and steam up to 90 meters or 300 feet high. Spasmodic Geyser. It erupts every 5 to 7 minutes, creating an effect of running away water. And Echo Geyser, a small fountain that erupts every 30 to 45 minutes. Other interesting places in this amazing area include the Turquoise Pool, an unusual hot spring with turquoise-colored water. Frigid Lake, a small lake with cold water that contrasts with the surrounding hot springs. And Dragon's Mouth Mud Pot, a pool of bubbling mud that resembles a dragon's fierce mouth. Midway Geyser Basin is a unique place where you can see incredible geothermal formations and natural effects. It is a must-see for anyone visiting Yellowstone National Park. Now, let's move to the Biscuit Basin. Biscuit Basin is a geothermal area located in Yellowstone National Park, named for the biscuit brown color that is charismatic of many of its thermal features. In Biscuit Basin, you can see geysers such as Sapphire Geyser, a small geyser that erupts bright blue water. Broken Kettle, a fountain with an unusual crater shape. Chinese Geyser, a fountain that erupts white water. The Biscuit Mud Pot, you'll see a bubbling mud pot with thick mud. And Opal Pool, a beautiful hot spring with opal-colored water. Biscuit Basin is a unique place where you can see simply incredible geothermal formations. And finally, we have the chance to behold the fragile beauty of Porcelain Basin. Porcelain Basin is a small geothermal area located in the Norris Geyser Basin of Yellowstone National Park. It's known for its delicate thermal features, which have a porcelain white color. Visitors are amazed by the fragile and graceful beauty of this basin. Some of the features of the basin include small size. Porcelain Basin is one of the smallest geothermal basins in Yellowstone. White terraces. The basin known for its snow-white terraces, which are formed from mineral deposits. Geysers. There are several small fountains here that erupt hot water. And hot springs. The basin also has several hot springs with clear water. We advise you not to touch the thermal features when exploring the area, as they are very fragile. Porcelain Basin is a unique place where you can see delicate and graceful thermal features, another wonder of Yellowstone. Of course, it's important for tourists to know what kind of weather to expect when visiting the park. Therefore, let's devote a few words to the climate and weather of Yellowstone National Park. This park is characterized by changeable weather. The climatic seasons in the area are quite pronounced. Winter is long, cold, and snowy. The average temperature in January, -6 Celsius or 16 degrees Fahrenheit. Spring is cool and wet. The average temperature in May, 7 degrees Celsius or 45 degrees Fahrenheit. Summer is warm and dry. The average temperature in July, around 70 degrees Fahrenheit. And autumn is cool and dry. The average temperature in September, around 13 degrees Celsius or 55 degrees Fahrenheit. The weather in Yellowstone can vary depending on the altitude. It's always colder in the mountains than on the plains. Sudden changes in weather are possible at any time of year. Visitors to Yellowstone National Park should be prepared for any kind of weather. Bring a raincoat. Rain is possible any time of year. Check the weather forecast before you go to the park so you're prepared for any unexpected changes. The unpredictable weather of Yellowstone National Park is part of its appeal. Be prepared for any of its whims, and you'll be able to enjoy everything the park has to offer. Yellowstone National Park is open year-round, but some roads and facilities may be closed in the winter. The peak season is usually from May through November. At this time, all roads and facilities are open. However, the best time to visit is considered to be from June to August, when the weather is warm and dry. The entrance fee to Yellowstone National Park is $70 for a private vehicle, $35 for a motorcycle, $30 for an annual pass, and walk-in entry $20 per person. Tickets can be purchased online or at the park entrance stations. In addition, Yellowstone National Park has several additional tickets you may want to purchase. Old Faithful and Grand Prismatic Spring Tour tickets. This gives you access to a guided tour of Old Faithful and Grand Prismatic Spring. The Yellowstone Lake Boat Tour. This gives you access to a boat tour of Yellowstone Lake. And the Mud Volcano Area ticket gives you access to the boardwalks in the Mud Volcano area. Additional tickets can be purchased online or at the visitor centers. Here are a few more tips in planning your trip to Yellowstone National Park. Accommodations in Yellowstone National Park are limited, so it's important to book in advance. Plan your route. There is a lot to see and do in Yellowstone, so it's important to have a game plan. And pack everything and anything you think you might need. Yellowstone National Park is unique and unforgettable. With proper planning, you'll be able to enjoy everything the park has to offer. Yellowstone National Park is not just a place on the map, but a real miracle of nature. Here, everyone will find something for themselves. Nature lovers will be delighted with the beauty of the landscape. History fans will appreciate the geothermal phenomena. And adventure seekers will be able to test their strength in hiking and rafting. Visiting Yellowstone National Park will leave an unforgettable impression. You'll be inspired by the beauty of nature, feel like a part of this amazing land, and simply have a great time. Having visited this park, you'll surely experience nostalgia and the desire to return here again. Traveling to Yellowstone National Park will become one of the brightest impressions in your life. Don't miss the opportunity to see this land of wonders with your very own eyes.